Good morning, guys. We've had the Toyota Tacoma I-Force Max for a couple weeks now, and at the time of this recording, we have 2,400 miles on the clock now. They are adding up really fast, but we are already learning a lot about this car. So, of course, like any good car owner, I joined all the Facebook groups that are related to the Toyota Tacoma and the I-Force Max, and it seems like no one really knows for sure how this hybrid works. And I personally own one, so here's how I've observed it working myself. I previously mentioned that a lot of people mistakenly say that the engine never shuts off. And as you can see, it does. We're idling right now, it is just turned completely off. But the I-Force Max seems to have 2 or 3 different hybrid modes. I want to say there's 3 different hybrid modes, and I want to talk about that in this video. So the first hybrid mode that this thing has is just gas mode. It literally runs the engine all the time. Stopped, started, driving, slowing down, doesn't matter. The engine's running all the time. Now in this mode, it does seem like idling the engine does charge up the battery to some degree. It doesn't seem like it charges it up very quickly, but it does seem to add bars as it idles. In this mode, it seems to assist the engine with the electric motor quite heavily. It seems to really only do that. So I think really the only purpose of this specific mode is to just collect the wasted energy from idling the engine and reuse it to accelerate the truck. The second hybrid mode that this thing seems to go into is effectively a stop-start mode. It seems to run the engine pretty much the entire time the car is running, except when you're stopped. But the second you let off the brake, it starts the engine back up, and it doesn't even try to accelerate under electric power at all. It just basically is an advanced stop-start system. Now, in the second mode, I have noticed that there is some really strange anomalies with the transmission. I thought there was a problem with the transmission at first. It was kind of jittery and weird, but it seems like in this mode, it never quite knows what to do with the transmission. Now, it is definitely possible I could just be misunderstanding how this works, but when it's operating in the second hybrid mode, it's really rough shifting, very clunky. Now, the third hybrid mode seems to happen quite a bit less often, and it seems to really not ever happen at all unless you have it in eco mode. But what the third hybrid mode does is it uses the engine to accelerate. Once it gets up to speed, it switches over to the electric motor, and it runs on the electric motor as long as it possibly can, and it has a lot of lenience with it. Right now, I'm showing some clips of me just driving around at some lower speeds, around 30 to 40 miles an hour, and you can see that it's just coasting around in electric mode for quite a long time here. So I mentioned this in the Toyota Tacoma group, that there is this hybrid mode that it does act like a Prius. And everyone says that it doesn't act like a Prius. Everyone says that this is not built for fuel efficiency, but very clearly it is. It does have that third hybrid mode, and I don't really fully understand what sets it into that third hybrid mode, but I think it has something to do with either the outside temperature or the temperature of the hybrid battery itself. This is my fuel efficiency history for this week, and as you can see on the 13th here and earlier today, when it was quite a bit warmer outside, we were getting a lot better fuel efficiency, and it's because on these 2 days in particular, we were running in that third hybrid mode quite a lot. And it was a lot warmer on those days. Right now it's only about 54 degrees. Earlier it was about 70 degrees. It's cooling off pretty fast because we have a snowstorm coming in here. So as you can see in this video, it does run like a regular hybrid sometimes. I don't know exactly when it does that or if there's a way that you can sort of bump it into that mode more often. However, you can see it clearly gets way better gas mileage when it's operating in that third, more like a Prius mode. Another reason I think that it's related to the temperature is because when I first start up the truck in the morning, it seems to run in mode 1, which is gas only, and then it seems to transition to mode 2, which is stop start, after about 30 or so minutes. And then a couple hours later, it starts running pretty much fully in mode 3, which is like a Prius. So because it seems to do that, and on the warmer days, it seems to progress through the modes a lot faster. Like today when I first booted it up, it only took about 5 minutes to get into the third hybrid mode. I think this has something to do with the battery temperature, because the more you use the battery, the warmer it gets. It's really cold up here, so that's really the only thing that makes sense to me right now. Well, that was a lot of information to absorb there. Hopefully some of it made sense, and hopefully it clarifies a little bit to you how these hybrid trucks work. They're not just designed for extra power. The extra power and extra torque is for sure nice, but they do also have an aspect of fuel efficiency, so it's not like that was totally taken out of the equation. It just seems like a lot of people don't understand how this hybrid runs, and it does in fact run like a Prius actually pretty often. Thank you all for watching. The next video is probably going to be about how much I hate the center screen here. It is probably the worst radio I've ever dealt with in my life, so stay tuned with that. Learn why this sucks and you should not upgrade to this 14-inch screen.